Spoilers ahead. This is your one and only warning. Leave now or forever hold your peace, because we're shooting blindly in these streets. And now, a Japan Time Podcast special presentation.
Hello, Ricky. This is a recording. At the tone, you can leave a message to request anything you might need. We'll do our best to provide it. Our feelings for you haven't changed, Ricky, but after everything that's happened, we just need a little space. And that space is being given to all of you right now. What is going on, everybody? Rogers Base here. Hello and welcome to the Japan Time Spoilercast for Season 1 of Vince Gilligan's new hit show on Apple TV, Pluribus. I am joined, but actually we got a pretty full house tonight for being a spoilercast. I think we got some big dogs in here. First and foremost, the biggest of all the dogs. We got the one, the only Mr. Shorty himself, Mr. Ricky Cocaine. How are you?
I kind of feel like that wasn't like you were like it was a backhanded compliment. Like it's like, are you talking about my weight or are you talking about like my position in class and stature?
I'm saying your presence within Japan Time is one of the biggest. You are a mascot, but physically you are small in stature. We all know this from the Japan trip.
Okay, good save. I like that. That's fine.
That's right. Didn't you have something you wanted to say to the class, Ricky? What was it that you were going to say? That you were repeating to yourself in the jungle while you were slicing up vines and falling on needles?
Oh, I've been practicing.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm Ricky Cocaine, and I'm here to save the world. Is that good?
That's good. That was
you missed a third of the line.
All right, well, speaking of someone who likes criticizing Ricky, who's going to do the full speech himself, we got the man back here who's been struggling over the last 24 hours, thinking he had to nail the Japan Time Awards and it done in the next 24 hours. You don't, you got a week. What's up, Coast? Welcome.
Hello, what's up? I got a nice tall glass of HDP right here. If anyone wants to give me their spinal fluid, I'll be right
no, this is the Pluribus one. This is not the Attack on Titan spoiler cast. That's for a different day. The spinal fluid thing's for a different day. Yeah. Speaking of someone, though, who's not here on a different day, who's here on the regular day, when we were planning on doing the spoiler cast, it was definitely not supposed to be on Monday before the show. Definitely not make an exception to make it on the weekend because we want him here so badly. We have the one and only Mr. Mike. Welcome, Mike, a.k.a. Rocket Station, a.k.a. the glue that holds the show together. Welcome, Mike.
I appreciate you guys moving the day, but if we could lower our voices real quick. It's okay.
I'll be real quiet. And while I'm real quiet, I'm going to introduce our last guest for the spoiler cast. The man, the myth, the legend, the actual glue that holds all our finances together for all the events throughout the course of the year. The one who honestly, I feel like if anyone in the world was left, if I faced a Pluribus situation, the one I actually do wish didn't get caught up in the hive mind. We got Mr. McDer. How are you, McDer? Welcome.
Doing well. Yeah, hopefully not. The hive mind sounds awful.
I mean, that's debatable. We'll talk about it on the spoiler cast. I feel like there's some benefits to it.
This is the spoiler cast.
Is there?
I think there's a couple benefits. Yeah, I think there's a couple benefits.
All right, we'll get into it.
We'll get into it. But actually, I want to start with you, McDer, because something that people have been begging for with this spoiler cast is some type of show notes, some types of outline, because I feel like the last few of these that we've done, it's just been all over the place. The Severance one, I think that was as hard to follow as the show itself. I don't know what was going on. The Severance one, we had goats running all over the place. It was crazy. But since you just binged the show, the rest of us who are watching this weekly, you binged the show. Kind of like, what are your overall thoughts on it? How are you feeling? Are you enjoying it? Are you excited for the mysteries? Just your overall thoughts on Pluribus, McDer.
One thing that I noticed, like the thing Vince does in a lot of shows, the like cinematography of how he frames shots is very impressive throughout the show. I think just thinking about even the first episode, like when she's thinking about calling the number on the screen, and then it pans to the phone, like focuses on the phone. She walks over, picks it up, then she walks across and the camera just pans with her and it's all a one take. Like all that stuff is like so impressive, and he does it throughout a lot of the show. But besides that, no, the first episode is kind of slow, but I was like enjoying it enough to figure out, like, see what's going on, and then stuff picks up, and then you're like, okay, what's happening, and then it just kind of just goes the whole way. I think you said, Roger, you weren't really into it till like episode 3, but for me it was like by episode 2, it's like, okay, well, I kind of want to see what happens next, and then I binge 8 episodes.
I mean, I was into it pretty early on. I think the part that was somewhat losing me, but I've come to appreciate it more now, was like the bottle episode with Manus. I feel like that was a little much. Like the jungle one, where he's just repeating the line over and over again. Like, I understood why they were doing it, and I do think it's important character-wise to have that. But I felt like that paired with just the very little bit that we got of Carol in that episode made me feel like, okay. Because at that point, I think we had like 2 left
it was 2
in
left.
the season. There was only 2 left in the season, and I'm like, there's a lot of stuff to wrap up here, especially if it's going to be as big of a break between seasons as something like Severance, where we're going to be waiting like a year or a year and a half. I didn't know if there was going to be enough there, but I feel like, I don't know, the finale brought it around for me. I feel like I was happy with the way that they wrapped it up for the season.
I guess, for me, that episode, it was like, it did drag on, but because I knew it was like, oh, I can just watch the next one, I wasn't waiting a week, so it didn't bother me nearly as much.
Yeah.
Part of me was like, okay, this is going on, and I thought I could just fast forward, but I was like, no, I'll just wait. I'll just watch what happens.
Right.
Do you recall?
I was going to say, I also just want to break in real quick. Never, ever, ever fast forward through a show. Never. If you're watching a show for the first time and doing discussions online, if you fast forward through a show, you're the person that Thanos should have snapped. Truly. That's crazy.
But okay.
I can't believe that.
I feel like people are becoming very impatient with shows, and they don't let them actually like develop. They don't let the story actually play out. So I don't get the mentality behind that, because it's entertainment and you're supposed to be.
Well, the thing is now is people watch shows at 2 times speed so that they can say they watched the show.
Yeah, and they watch it, get through it faster.
They're watching it just for the sake of watching it, so they can be a part of the collective that's watched it. So that when they want to dunk on a show, or when they want to praise a show, they can say that they've watched it. But it's not.
That was good wording, by the way. You said of the collective that watched it. I was like, ooh, I like what you're doing there. I saw what you were doing.
Well, I mean, like, you could literally see it online all the time now.
No, I know.
Like,
it happens all the time.
When I got done watching Stranger Things, I was like, well, this is a whole other discussion. But I finished watching Stranger Things. I'm like, yeah, that last season was kind of mid, but I thought that final episode was really good.
I did too.
All I've seen online is just people nitpicking the smallest things and stuff like that.
I know.
I haven't watched Stranger Things, but just like the discussion that I saw online has seemed like so fake.
Yeah, it's blown out of proportion, and people just want to be mad at something because they didn't get what they.
I mean, there's a very specific headcanon of people that are very, very angry at
I just don't get the mindset where people watch a show and they're like, not enough people died, it was a bad ending. It's like,
or by the character, or the character that I wanted to get with this character didn't get with this character. It's like, come on, dude.
That's a good point, because that's why I want to talk to you about My Hero, Roger, if you did end up doing that.
Well, My Hero Academia is just garbage. We're talking about good shows.
Okay,
that's a different discussion. And no one's gonna sit over here saying, "Oh, Roger fast forwarded, bro." I was in the trenches, man. I know you were on live streams. I was doing read through streams with mega donations, bro. I if anything should have been obligated to like it, and instead I sat. Well, again, I'm not gonna get into this, but I sat there during that moment. You can't see me doing the air quotes, but that moment with Bakugo, and I truly never in a million years have wanted to physically go to a mangaka's house and shake them and be like, what's wrong with you? What? Why did you do this? And I respect Horikoshi. Bro, Horikoshi's art is like on another level. But again, that's a whole different discussion. Maybe one day, again, if we all get our minds collected in a hive mind together, I could ask him myself. Yes. At millisecond speed.
Well, you wouldn't have to ask him if
I would just understand it. I would know. Maybe that's a point against it. Maybe I wouldn't actually love it if I had to be in the hive mind with all the My Hero fans. That
You're in
while
the
this
hive
stuff
mind
is
with all the
encoding, while I'm
every single
editing,
fan base you don't like, they're all in there.
that
I
sucks.
wanna get back on that discussion you guys were talking about with the first 3 episodes. How like this is how I felt when I thought the first episode. I was like pretty involved in that episode. After I got done watching it, I was like, I want more. I love the concept. I want more. Great episode to start off a series. And then the second and third episode just felt like they were the same for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand they were establishing the character for Carol and the world and the situation that she's in and what she needs to figure out to resolve it all. But I felt that easily could have been done in one episode. And I think the episode with Manusos in the forest, or just not even just the forest, just traveling from Panama to the States, that whole episode was how I felt that second episode should have been executed. Because I think establishing Manusos in that episode was really well done, and it was done in a shorter time. But I felt it also got the point through harder for, you know, how not how desperate he is to get things back on the right track, but how determined of a character he is.
Yeah. What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Like, what do you mean? Like, that's how episode 2 should have gone.
Well, for me, episode 2 and 3, when I watched it, maybe I gotta watch it again, but when I watched them, episode 2, I understood how Carol was feeling a lot, and, you know, her identity of, you know, being this character that's easily annoyed, doesn't put up with shit easily, you know. But when I watched the third episode, it felt like they were just kind of doing the same thing.
Oh, see, I disagree with you on that, because maybe you do kind of have to rewatch them, because those two I did watch in the binge together, and they are pretty different. Because the second one, if I'm remembering correctly, is like the Air Force One, right? Where like Kumba arrives and he's there, and then you meet all the other like quote unquote survivors, right? The people that haven't connected.
Wouldn't it be 3 or is that 2?
That's 2.
That was 2. That was 2.
No, that's
because
3.
that is
2.
3.
That
No,
is Omega
that's 2.
2.
Because 3 is the one that opens with the stuff with the igloo, and then ends with the grenade where she like blows up Zosha accidentally. That's 3. And the second one, I actually thought
is
really...
Oh wait, hold on. Is episode 2 the one where it ends in the hospital?
No,
that's way too fast.
No. The hospital is 4, I think.
Episode 2 ends with her stopping the plane.
Right. She runs in front of the plane because
I'm misremembering shit. Okay, I'm misremembering shit.
Yeah, because 2, I actually thought 2 and 3 were really strong. Because 3, you have, like, again, it opens with that flashback with what's Helen, thank you. Right. With her and Helen in the ice hotel. And she's just like not having it, and Helen's just having a good time with everything. And I was like, that's how I would have been in this situation. Yeah. I'd be like, look at this, we're sleeping on ice. Look at this, we're getting specialty drinks. Look at the Aurora Borealis. Isn't this great? Everything's wonderful. And and the second one is the one where you get like all the survivors that are on the plane talking about like whether or not they actually want to stop them. And she's kind of the only one at that moment, even though they kind of tease Manunos, right? They tease like the guy in Paraguay. Everybody else is kind of like, no, this seems pretty good, right? Even like the one lady with her son, you know, Carol keeps trying to convince her, saying like, that's not actually your kid.
Oh, I thought it was so funny when because she said it before. It's like, yeah, but he knows like plastic surgery. And then at the dinner, she actually starts asking him questions directly about it.
Right. About like, about how to be a gynecologist.
Yeah. Exactly, the speculum questions and all. Yeah. She was going.
Yeah. No, but I thought those first 3 were actually pretty strong. And I think I agree with you. The one in the hospital was weird to me. Not that it was weird in terms of like how far they would go for her. Because that's when you first get the glimpse of the idea that like, would you give me an atom bomb, right? Because the whole thing at the end of 3 is when they give her the grenade. And she's like, I didn't think it was going to be a real one. And then she's like, well, if you were going to give me an atom bomb, would you give me one? And they were like, well, we weighed the pros and cons, but like, if you really want one.
Wait, what has Roger been calling him? Roger, what is the guy's name?
Who?
Isn't it Manunos? Manusos. I keep saying, who's Manunos? There's someone named Manunos that not in the show. I know not in the. I know.
Manus also sounds familiar. I think it's an actor or something.
Well, I'm gonna look up. Oh, Maria Menounos. She's the one who does Access Hollywood.
Yeah,
That's what it is. Maria Menounos. I knew there was someone. That's right. That's right. I've been calling him Menounos the whole time.
Es Manuso Saviado.
Exactly. Manusos. Exactly. I've come to save the world.
I want to.
See, I'm screwing it up, man. I'm saying his name wrong.
I wish
that's
to.
crazy.
I wish to. Yeah, you're right.
We're all correcting each other. Well, regardless, more like overall thoughts from everybody else. I feel like we heard a little bit from me, Coast, and McDer. I want to hear more from Mike and Ricky.
I want to say what I think is the one you brought up, the atom bomb. I think so much in this show, the thing I appreciated is when they put an idea forward, they pay it off. There's very few things I feel like that came up that they did not address. Even like the way she's going about figuring out, well, what do the others actually want? Like, you know, like what can and can't they do? So when she saw the grenade, it's like, okay, then what else will you give me? Or when they asked about, oh, well, you do this, and their first answer was, oh, we prefer to be vegetarian. But it turns out like, no, we actually cannot pluck anything that's alive. We can't even harvest grain.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I have so many questions, but I'm gonna save them for a little bit later, for us to like really dig into it. Okay, if we're talking about my initial impressions, because I was watching it with Mike. Mike knows my initial impressions. How did I feel about the show, Mike?
Just based off the way we were talking about it, I think you were very, very intrigued by it.
Ricky, when you were fucking watching that show, you were talking like you were a nuclear physicist, man.
No, I was. Look, okay,
that is the most No. That is the most profound I've ever heard you talk about anything. Okay. When watching Pluribus, it was like the third eye has opened.
Because I try to suppress that angle of me because I don't want people to know about it.
All right, man.
But the show kind of forces me to think deeper, because I like the premise overall. Just this idea that everybody becomes one singular entity or whatever that like has access to everybody's memories, and like I just think in general that's cool. So I'm always going towards the round of like, okay, how profound can we get? I'm trying to see like, where's Vince really taking this? What's the point? Like, why did he choose this as the show that he wanted to make? You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I get into it. Going back into it, my impressions are it's awesome. Generally, it's awesome. But I felt like the thing that was holding it back, and I tried to mask this so hard, was Carol. I was. It took me a very long time to come around to Carol, and I don't think I was giving her enough credit in the beginning because she did just lose somebody and the entire world in a single night. And I can't put a timeline on how somebody or how long it takes somebody to grieve. But
not just somebody, but like literally the only person in the entire world she seemed to care about.
Right.
But there was a point where the bitching just got to me, bro.
Yeah,
there was.
I completely agree with that, Ricky.
Yeah, and I do too. But I feel like that is when I got a greater appreciation of Manny, because to me, I kept being like, why is Carol doing this? This is the dumbest. She kept making like the worst mistake after the worst mistake after the worst mistake. And then I think Vince and like the people behind the show, I feel like from watching it, wanted you to feel like that, which is why Manny is even worse. You know what I mean? Like he's beyond, like he's throwing out the food. He's like knocking it over, even though he's starving, like while he's like scrounging up bits of dog food.
That's like, a man of principle, but that also makes me think, as like a side note, like maybe he's like ex-military or something, because the
I
way
don't
he
know
like his
what it,
survival
like,
skills were kind of wild.
Well,
but
it's
the
also
fact,
that's
I
just
mean,
that
he
is like
blows
a
up his car.
that is
He's
a
walking
type
through
though.
the
Like that's like
it is a type, yeah.
survival. Like this person is here to survive, and they trust no one.
Right.
Like so, I think having someone who is that helps.
I also don't think it's that shocking that someone would deny food from an entire like group of people that were basically infected with a virus. Like
well,
it's
it's not shocking. It's not shocking at all. Like I think in this situation, I totally get why someone would do it. What I mean is like in terms of relatability for myself, I'm like I think I would probably eat the food before like scrounging in empty cans of dog food
For the dog
so
food.
you have a weaker willpower.
lick thing. I do, yeah, for sure,
Okay.
100% I do. I said
Roger,
I would join the hive mind, bro. You're
Roger,
the
you're
wrong
not
guy,
putting
man.
yourself.
Well, bro, to be
Hold on.
honest, it's not like you have a choice. Only how many people actually got through?
Right. There's like 7 or 9 or something. Yeah, I mean it's like not
It's
very
13.
many.
It's 13.
Thank you, 13.
13.
That's right.
I think made it through. But
Organization 13. There you go.
You're not. I don't think you're actually implanting yourself in the scenario, in the situation, though, because even for Manusos, he's not even thinking about this necessarily as like an alien assimilation thing. He was thinking about it from like a spiritual sense, where like he thinks everybody's like their spirits are gone, their souls are gone, they're maybe like demons. I don't know what he. But he couldn't trust them at all. So it's like, if you were in a scenario like that where the entire world was just like pretty much not the same, like you couldn't really rely on anybody to be who they were, especially since we saw his interaction with his mom.
That's what I say. I
like,
think
this
he
is
also,
not my mom.
as a person, does not trust anyone because his mother literally, apparently, from the way he reacted to her, is like, yeah, you're not my mom. My mom's a bitch. So it's like, his mother was probably awful to him, so he doesn't even like his own mother. So at that point, it's like he has no one. Because I feel like that's the same thing with Carol, is because Helen died, Carol had no one, but all the other survivors besides one had people that were like connected to them, so they're all more okay because they have people. But these two have no one at that point, so they don't trust anyone.
Well, not everyone.
No, there's one. I can't remember his name, but the one from French.
Kumba.
Kumba, yes. So he doesn't technically have anyone, but he's like, I get to be a king of the world, so who cares? But
bro,
all the other ones...
I literally said this to Reagan as we were sitting watching it. I'm like, this is what Ricky would do in this situation.
Yes, of course.
I literally said this.
I wouldn't do it as quickly.
You would straight up have them. You would have them like reenacting Flowers of Evil for you, and like like I know already. I just know that's what you would do.
He leaned into it too quickly. He didn't. There wasn't a proper transition, so like he looks a little crazy. I would have made it look smoother. I
loved the bit where she goes to visit him in Vegas, right? And she stays overnight at the hotel. And I love when she's like, oh yeah, like jokingly is like, oh, I can get used to this. Yeah, I'm just gonna be staying down the hall. And you see his heart sink for a second, like, God damn it, I do not want to ruin it. And she's like, oh, just kidding.
my thing is, I almost think part of her was serious, but she saw his reaction.
I definitely, she was gauging the reaction. 100% agree. Yeah, for sure.
Dude, that entire episode gave me such a weird vibe because there was so much tension and like the fear of unknown still lingering in that episode. And when she goes and starts asking him questions and he's just like, yeah, I know all of this stuff. Yep, all of this. And I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, did he join them? And he's playing it off so extremely well right now.
Oh, I never thought about that.
I didn't think about that either. Yeah.
So ever since that episode, I'm just like in the back of my head, I have to remember if someone does manage to join the others, if there's, especially with what happened later on in the series, with the music and the signals, I'm like, if someone does join, I have to keep in mind like how strong is their connection to that signal or whatever, where they can either play off being normal while still being connected to the others, or vice versa.
Well, I think that was so interesting with the scene with the girl in Peru with like the goats that joined them, right? Where when she first got introduced, she straight up was like, I want to join. It sounds great. Yeah. And I thought having them like basically performatively do this ritual for her, right? Knowing that it's important, like it's gonna be this nice thing. and then just packing it up and like leaving afterwards.
Like the
like,
second she joins, they
to
leave the entire village. They just abandon it.
They just leave, exactly. But I saw people afterwards saying they felt bad for the goat, right? The pet goat. But
give the baby goat an Oscar, bro. Oh my, an Emmy or whatever. Give it. Holy shit.
Didn't they say though that with the pets that they like, if the pets are connected to the person, that they do take care of the pets?
They said if the animal doesn't leave.
Yeah.
Dang, man. That poor goat.
Okay.
Oh man, but that was a solid moment too. I'm glad you brought that up with like when someone joins.
I think the thing that I like about this show is that it isn't really that complicated.
No.
Like I don't think there's ever gonna be a moment where like you're gonna think, oh, have they joined? Because I think it is just that simple. Where like all the rules they've established.
Here's a question. Maybe it's too early to ask this, but do you think they can lie?
No.
I don't think they can lie.
It's like, I think that's like established fully.
I think that's absolute cap. I think that's absolute cap.
No, because if that was true. If that was true, right? Every single time she asked a question and then they just didn't answer her, they could have just told her no. They could have flat out just told her no. And then that would have ended everything. But because they couldn't and they just sat there and just didn't answer her, then she knew the answer was, okay, well, you just told me the answer because you can't respond.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, Ricky. It's not that complicated. I really don't think it is. And that's what I like.
Ricky, I think a lot of the questions that you have are, there needs to be an addendum with a yet at the end of them. Because especially with the final episode with Manus really breaking through with I forget that guy's name that was on the couch and he was trying to with him. I think that holds a lot of implications for the next season and how they're gonna get through to people that's connected with the others, and maybe then there'll be some fucking random shit where they're like, okay, maybe now we can liars. There's no way in telling and what rules they will break if they break any.
Eventually like evolve to a point where they can do that stuff.
This is you guys are sweethearts. You guys are sweethearts because it's strange to me that you would take them just saying we can't lie at face value when there's supposed to be some other species that they have no tether to the human construct of truth.
They are not a different species.
And dishonesty. Okay,
yeah.
It's like a virus or whatever. But whatever they are,
humans linked together.
Right, with this alien virus, but they are inherently human, and I think like that's the important thing about it is that the can't lie thing, right? Being able to not lie is important to like with the drama of the show, because I think once you start, it's the same thing where like there's a lot of like shows that use magic, and then there's characters that can like be another person. Right, where it's all of us they kill somebody, but it's actually it was this person hiding as this other person. I feel like that cheapens the drama a lot of the time when you've got like these false flags that you can't predict. Whereas I feel like with this show, they're being smart about the way they're introducing things, and it's never that the characters are lying. I think the drama and like the interesting part of it is what they are omitting. Right, they're perfect. Like they could have straight up told her right away. Oh, by the way, like during the conversation where they said they couldn't kill anything. Right. During that conversation about scavenging, they could have brought up the human product, right? They could have straight up said, oh yeah, but we're grinding up the bones and the bodies of all the people that die and turning it into this thing you consume. That's,
so like, why didn't they say it?
They didn't because she didn't ask them. She didn't know to ask that at that moment.
She didn't know to ask that, and they know that would have bothered them. So they purposely didn't say anything.
Right.
So you guys don't believe. You guys don't believe in lying by omission. That's not like a thing.
I think it's not that that's not a thing in real life. It's that by the rules of the show, lying by omission is the one thing that does not count towards that. If you ask them flat out, what is this exact thing you're doing? Just like McDer said, they would have just lied, or they didn't have to answer in the situations that they did. But instead of just being outright no, they were like, well, so I think that's really important.
Well, I think
silent, right?
And
the silence is the confirmation, right?
Ricky, what I would say, guys, I want to answer your lying by omission thing real fast.
Wait, hold on.
Right.
Before you expand on that, the only thing that I'm struggling to grasp is that we're being very concrete with this idea of lying, and it's like more so predicated on being a verbal lie, when it's like we've seen them participate in acts of deception just in the fact that they can play roles. They can be actors. The freaking rat pretended to play possum before it bit
that. Okay, that was
research.
crazy. I don't know, but also, was it that it was pretending, or was it convulsing like how the people were when they were joining? Right? That like, was it convulsing, dead lying there?
I don't think the virus affects the rat the same way.
Right.
Because if that was the case, all the animals on Earth would have joined.
Right.
Okay. What were you about to say, McDer?
So I was gonna say, I think lying by omission is more of a. I don't think it's like. I'm trying to think of some way to say this. I don't think a lie by omission is a fact, right? I don't think that's like a lie, right? I'm trying to think of the way of like this species kind of works is they are very structured on like facts. We can't do this, we can do this, that kind of stuff. Lying by omission, I think, is not like it's not the same as lying. You're trying
to push through here. I think the best example of what the scenario can evolve to in the next season is literally the conversation between Carol and Zosia about the stem cells at the ski resort.
Yeah.
Or literally, she asked her, "You're doing this," and then she just says nothing.
Intentionally being evasive about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it really is. They're not intentionally being facetious. It's just that, she hasn't asked about it. There's no need to bring it up.
And then you ask something that they don't want to tell you, and they will just avoid it.
Yeah.
They do play around with this idea of consent very loosely, because they're like, yeah, before we turn you or whatever, we need your stem cells, and we can only get your stem cells if you let us have it, extract it from you directly with a needle or something.
Yeah.
But okay, but I guess we didn't tell you that we could, get it by other means. Yeah. What alternative means?
But I think that was the kind of the point, because even like when that thing happened, she says, "I don't consent to you sticking this needle into me and drawing and getting it that way." Right. And they said, "Okay, we will not do this to you.
We won't do it."
I think they were very specific that we won't do it.
Right. Well, here's
the
thing. Here's the thing. Before you get into it, Ricky, it's not that they like believe in like consent. They believe in not doing violence to other living beings.
Right.
They believe in not doing violence to other beings. Okay.
Yeah. So to extract them the normal way would be violent if someone didn't let you do it. So that's why they don't do it.
Right, because then they'd be struggling and they'd be shaking, like, no, get it out of me,
So anything that inflicts intentional suffering or harm, that is
anything
what they're completely.
I guess there is like a bit, because like they do force themselves on Carol at one point. But I guess the thing
they forced themselves on everybody from the moment that they were licking donuts. What? They were licking donuts?
Okay, the licking. Wait, but the licking
and kissing people. That was the
transmission. That was like the transmission phase. I think.
Yeah.
The forcing themselves on Carol thing is interesting, right? Because I still don't know what to make of the scene with Zosia and her, where they sleep together the first time. They go to like the communal sleeping place. And then they have the talk about, which I think is funny that this is like a whole thing in the episode, of like pronouns, right? Of the saying of the I feel this way or we feel this way, right? And I'm still kind of somewhat confused and don't know if it is them doing this to make her more comfortable or Zosia actually like peeking through a little bit because of an emotional attachment to Carol with like like when they were talking about the mango ice cream.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say, I think it's a mix of both.
I think it's a mix of both now too, and I almost feel like that's how they're gonna get people out of it.
Yeah, I think emotions are the key to everything.
I totally agree. I think it's like tapping into like a core emotion of somebody, and that being the thing that gets them to remember their self.
No, it's not even a core emotion. It's literally. Are you guys watching the show?
No, of course.
When Carol gets angry, what happens? Oh, bad thing. Oh, they get injured. Oh, Carol gets mad. They stress out. Oh, bad. So what's the opposite of that?
Good things.
Yeah, right.
But everybody is together. If she's sleeping with Zosia, she's sleeping with all of them. You know what I mean? And not all of them would necessarily want that.
Well, no, they kind of go into that it's like the feeling isn't transmitted. Like when they're at the massage place,
right? The
they talk
massage
about
place,
that.
right?
That
Yeah.
like technically I'm feeling this, and other people get the intention of it, but they don't feel what I'm feeling. It's feeling everyone at once would be too much.
Would be crazy, right?
I think with the virus, I think like I don't think it's like a hive mind. Well, it is a hive mind, but I don't think it's like a central hive mind. It's not like there's like a central point that everyone is like deriving information from.
Yeah.
I still think each individual person has their individuality.
I agree. Yes.
But it's just that like the virus makes you very like complicit. It makes you very like understanding. Like the way I think it works is like if a building is on fire and none of the individuals see it, nothing gets done about it. But if one of them sees it, it just immediately and instantly sends out a signal to everyone else nearby. There's a fire, we need to put this out. And everyone does it because that's just how it works. Everyone wants to work together.
Interesting.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Interesting. I don't know if I processed it that way.
Yeah, I think
so then,
when they talked about the train, when she was talking to Zosha about how she likes train horns, and then the horn goes off, she asks, "Oh, how did you do that?" And she's like, "Oh, it's almost like an electromagnetic signal that sends it to like the next person."
Right. It's like, again, they're not thinking about it. It's just the thing that happens. It's just, you know, if someone pinches you, right, you feel that pain right away.
That's not even how this is how I thought about it, especially after they talked about the massage thing. I think of it as you're manually breathing now. Because if you the moment I brought that up, you thought about breathing, right? But your body's just automatically doing it. So the moment you think about breathing, you're in that process of So that's how I think about it. It's like a ping of you're manually breathing to other surrounding people, or just they can do it globally, obviously. So,
but don't you think then that manually having people tap into their emotions is going to be the key to get out of this? Because the thing that's interesting to me, and this is like maybe a whole discussion for like episode or season 3 when we get there, right? But like to me, I feel like the tapping in to your emotion and keeping your individuality, if they are able to convince the other people that are still debating joining, right, that you can keep your individuality, but you now have access to every bit of information in the entire world, right? But somehow, some way through, like, you know, in Inception, you have like the totem, and that's the thing that like reminds you of your own consciousness, like whether or not you're dreaming. You have like that one thing that only you know. I feel like the equivalent of like an emotional totem for a person is going to be the thing that like keeps your own individuality upon joining. Like I feel strongly that at some point, and maybe this taps into what Ricky was saying earlier, the idea of like them lying. I feel like at some point, one of the people will join for the purpose of knowing what it's like to act as a spy to people who haven't joined yet. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to describe that in terms of like, you know, because I don't think it's going to be a thing where any of them are lying. I think it's going to be the conscious effort of somebody now knowing what is going to happen and knowing how to counter it being the thing that gets them to fully understand.
Who would intentionally do that though?
That I don't know. I don't know.
That's the thing that I need. That's the thing I'm wanting out of these next seasons. I need more urgency, because the only urgency that they showed that going into the next season are just Carol's eggs, and that's it.
She is like
so there's no motivation for any other characters other than Carol to actually
there's still
get
like
done.
7 other people we haven't met yet.
Right, and those are the people that I think are going to be important. Like those, I think, are going to be the other, because if we're seeing Manny, who is all the way on the other side of things, right? If we thought Carol was bad and making dumb decisions, this dude is like all the way on the other side of things, making like the absolute worst possible decisions, nearly dying in the forest, you know, stabbing himself against a tree. I think we're going to see someone in the next season or the season afterwards that's on like the flip side of that, right? Somebody that's like willing to utilize the request system and like get everything that they want, but still knows that they don't fully want to join, but is just taking advantage of the situation that we've got. I mean, like Kumba's kind of there.
Yeah, it's to say,
right?
We kind of have
He's kind of there, but I feel like he's basically joined them without joining them. You know what I mean? Like he's just fully taken advantage of everything.
That's why I got that vibe from him on that one episode.
Right. But I feel like there's gonna be someone that's like a little farther on like the Carol side of the spectrum of knowing this is wrong, but is still like not dumb enough to turn down the requests for things. Because like this is something I literally wanted to bring up later in the spoiler cast was if you were put in this situation and you were actually a character on the show, right? What would be the request that you would have made to change how things went down? Because like I could tell you straight up, I'll answer this first, just because I've been thinking about this. Like that voicemail, that super long, drawn out voicemail. Of like, I think one of the first things I would have done is I would have requested, hey, could you shorten the voicemail next time? Because it's driving me crazy. Thanks.
I love that they actually make you sit through it as a viewer every single time.
Right.
Yeah,
I know. Because then you feel it like how she's feeling. Like I feel like that would have been one of my requests. Is please change them. I understand you're mad at me. Please, could you shorten this voicemail? Thank you. And I would just hung it up.
You know, okay, I have a question, and this goes for everybody.
Yeah.
Do you think that the world is good as it is, or are you on the side of like trying to get things back?
Definitely,
it's not good.
Super not.
No, absolutely.
You don't
not.
agree? There's no
the world
wars
is
right
good
now.
as
There's
it
no
is right now,
conflict.
brother.
No, but you have to also remember in 10 years, everyone's gonna die.
Right.
Because they refuse to harvest. So like in 10 years, unless they change, everyone's dead. So no.
Wait, can I get a refresher? What's the problem with picking apples off the floor or eating like crickets that are already dead?
They believe so it's on the floor, they'll take it, but they will not pluck an apple from a tree. They won't harvest grain or wheat. They won't kill an animal for food. They believe if something is alive, they do not do anything to it. But I forget what they call it. They call it something
windfall.
Windfall. Thank you. If something knocks an apple from a tree, they'll take it then. But otherwise they won't. So because of that, they're starving because there's not enough food to feed people.
So this is the part that
you then tell the hive mind. You then tell the hive mind, my request is for you to make an automated harvesting system that does not harm anything, that the second that things drop from the ground, a certain amount of the apples that fall off the ground, the seeds need to go back in the ground to make more trees. Like something along those lines where it's like,
that's what they
I think they brought that up in the show. He brought it up. They told them that we could use robots, but then like they would have to maintain the robots, so they were like directly linked to it still.
Right. But the maintaining, I feel like that would be where if I was in this situation, my effort would be in discovering the loopholes of like, the maintaining of the robots or the harvesting systems or like whatever. It would be coming up with things that then would allow them, everyone else, the world, to then be okay with what it was that I'm doing. I think it's just a matter of like piecemealing it out a little bit to finally make them okay with it, where it's like, hey, you're going to do this, but also pros and cons, right? You gave me this atom bomb. If you don't do this, I'm killing everybody on Earth right now. So like, that's what you know what I mean?
They would let you. They would let you.
They would let me kill everybody, or they would let me make my harvest?
They would let you kill everybody. Because the other thing is, they're not doing it, you're doing it, and they can't stop you. They can't physically restrain you and stop you, so they would let you do it.
But they can't see that the trick is they can stop me by doing the thing that I am requesting. If I make this harvesting system or I kill everybody on Earth, like I think they would let me make the harvesting system.
That's what I'm wondering about, because I think she asked for the atom bomb because it's like it is a threat. It is, if you show up with this thing, I'm blowing this up. But I'm wondering if that's going to work. That's like what's in my head of like, if they believe they can't, because that's like the whole purpose of giving it to her in the first place. It's like, well, we wouldn't want you to have it, but if you want it, we give it to you. So it's like that in my head is they can't even. Okay, how about when she used, I can't remember what the drug was, but she basically drugged Zosha and was trying to get her to tell her how to stop everything. She just told them, stay away from me, I'm my own person, you can't touch me. And literally they couldn't touch her. And they didn't move in until Zosha passed out, and they asked, can we help her? And then they moved in. I really think like threats like that kind of don't work, because if it's against their nature, they just won't do it, no matter what the outcome.
But the thing is with Zosha, right? It was one physical body that basically got overdosed on heroin or whatever the drug was, right? And she for this one body triggered her specifically into trying to tell her what was going on. But the physical bodies outside of like the seizures, right? Where like if she does something to upset them, that they go into seizures, and every time that happens, like millions of people die, basically. The outside of the seizure, they're not like the physical bodies of everybody else in that situation have not
they're
like
not
evaporated.
they're not connected. No,
You know what I mean?
no, yeah, no, that's not what I was saying though. But what I was saying is they literally formed a circle around Carol, and they couldn't move in to stop. They didn't want her to keep going what she was doing, but they could not move to stop her because that would involve touching her. They would try to move Zosha away, so she cuffed herself to Zosha, and then they couldn't stop her because now they'd have to be physical with Carol to remove the handcuff. That's what I mean. I think like threats of don't do X or I will do Y. I don't know if they work. But then she asked for an atom bomb, so it's like so I don't. That's why I also don't know.
Yeah.
I think the Zosha has like some immunity or like privilege compared to every other person that's infected in terms of Carol.
By being her like, chaperone?
Yeah, like I think there's an intention behind Zosha being as close to Carol for a specific reason. We don't.
Well, I mean, they
just because she looked like the character, like Rebecca.
Right, she looked like
it's like her type.
No, but I think it goes beyond that though, and we just have to wait and see.
Interesting. Okay. Was someone about to make a comment? Because I want to make a comment real quick.
You can
go crazy. Yeah.
The main thing that I'm wondering, just going back a little bit, is that what is the reason why they're drinking people? If just because I feel like there's enough turnover with animals that just naturally die of natural causes that they could just become scavengers and opportunists for the
because there was more of a higher rate of people dying from the hive mind appearing than anything else.
Yeah, like what was it? 900 million died.
Yeah,
right.
Okay,
an eighth of the population basically evaporated.
So that's the reason why they keep resorting to the HDV thing. Okay, cool enough. Just trying to clarify that piece.
And even then, it's like, so I think the animal thing would work if they kept animals in places where they could track them. They didn't. They let them all go.
Right. But couldn't you care for? I don't know. I'm thinking on like the loophole side of things. Couldn't you go to like a wildlife preserve, right? And tell and request
Those don't exist anymore.
Well, they could then request a wildlife preserve to exist. Round up a bunch of animals and give them a good life instead of harming them. Not it doesn't go against their nature if you are helping them. No, not if you're helping them. If you are not harming them. It literally goes against
their nature.
Yeah, it does.
How? Because you're not
to hold animals.
You can't hold. The
thing I would say, right, is
physically holding an animal and leading them in the direction of an animal to care for it. I think are two separate things. You're not physically like giving. You're not touching the pigs that are giving birth. Right? Like you're not touching them. You're just providing them with what they would need to survive so that there will be more of them.
The thing I would say, Roger, is like when she asked them to restock the store, which I don't remember the name of the store.
Right.
But that technically was against what they were doing, because they were conserving food because they all of them needed it, and this food is just sitting here. But she said, "Well, I want it, so I'll do it." So they gave it back, which is a little different because I kind of agree with Mike where. It is. I get where you're going at. Where it's not even because it's helping them; they don't care about that. It's literally that you're doing something that now, because it's a living thing, they will probably have an issue with it compared to if it was just here's a grocery store. All the stuff's already dead in process.
But I guess. Yeah.
I think ultimately, like, the hive does not care about survival because that's not what the virus is even trying to do.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing the virus is, like, programming them to do is to spread. So, like, sustainability is not even, like, a question. Like, they're just doing the best they can until they can build this satellite.
So, but, okay, so we're getting into
See, this is what I was
because
like. I was gonna say
because propagation is survival. But okay, what are you saying, Ghost?
I was gonna say the constant need to appease Carol is. It's like how much longer will the others insist on providing her with these demands and stuff until they eventually just go, okay, this bitch is fucking annoying. Fuck this.
They will never do that.
Do you guys have a hypothesis as to why they give a shit about assimilating the remainder people who are just like
it's literally like biologic need. It's a biological need to do that.
Right, to have everybody be one, right?
So even when attending to Carol and having her have her mood swings kills off, what was it, like 8 million or
11
something?
million.
11 million. It's still worth attending to her so that she can eventually join, because that's just all
that's their top priority. Which is why, for me, if you're the individual, right, if you're the one that hasn't joined, why would you not? Which is why I was upset with her in the first couple episodes, right? Like, I feel like she grew on me after we got Manny, but I was like, in those first couple episodes, I understand she like just lost the love of her life, right? But when you look at the grand scheme of things she was turning down, to like the turnover of when she finally realized like she can't be alone and she sleeps with Zosha, that's only like what, 2 months total? Like total?
Barely.
I mean, but that was 2 months of complete absolute isolation.
Like 48 days.
Yeah, but it was absolute isolation, literally nothing.
See, but I feel
before
like
she at least had people around.
It's never been in the whole. What I'm saying,
you've never been in.
But if you have complete isolation, that was putting herself in that isolation by being stupid. Like
no, but
if I'm like World, I want to play Fortnite with you tonight. Get like Ninja and the souls and the spirits of whoever
they
would
have done it. They would have done it. Yeah.
They would have put all of them on Fortnite with me. If I say I want Sakurai to make me Smash 6 right now with 2B and Camilla from Fire Emblem, they'll be like, bet I'll make this in a month. Like, I would be taking advantage of the fact that everybody is there and like knowing the fact that they can't hurt me. Yeah. Like, but I would, because
that's not crazy.
That they can't hurt me.
That's
no,
right.
But that's literally the other side. That's like I'm gonna keep forgetting his name, but it's the
the difference. No, because see, the difference is
not Manny.
Not Manny. Excuse me, Kumbe. Right. With him, the difference with him is he's like putting people in situations that they cannot consent to, that is not for the betterment of like people. It's like for his own lust or whatever. But like, if for my own entertainment, I want them to.
That is not for the betterment of people, though.
No, but it is.
Yeah, it's literally the same thing.
Hear me out. It's not, because
it is the same thing.
It's not. Wait, because
let him reveal himself, Mike.
If this entertainment, right, is for the purpose of holding them off and killing off all these other people, if I can do this to keep them like busy while I'm trying to figure out what is going on.
See, Roger, you're saying all of this, and I'm just imagining Diabate saying all this.
But he's not looking for a solution.
But he can say the exact same thing you're saying right now.
He can, but the difference, which I think
no difference. There's no difference.
There is absolutely. The difference is that he eventually will join. He's cool with everything happening. He's cool with the people. He's cool with this. I would not be cool with that. I would be actively researching solutions, which goes back to my point earlier in this spoiler cast, which is, I think within the next season or the next 2 seasons, you're going to need to introduce a character like me. You're going to need to introduce a character that's like not cool with it, but is taking advantage of the system because they know it's for the greater good. So and that is kind of the archetype we don't have yet.
Here's the other thing I would say. Because like with your example, I know it's a very specific example, but what I would say about it is even if you tried to keep them busy, one of them would still be around to see you. And as long as they see you, whatever you're doing, they now all know. It's like so the idea of keeping them busy doesn't work. They have people who are watching drones, watching you 24/7. Like they knew Carol, when they all left, they knew she went and found the HDP center. They knew it because they have drones. They could see her. So even when they were all gone, they were still watching her.
Is my point. But they can't do anything about it. Like, I'm sure they know about everything she's writing on the whiteboard, but it doesn't matter.
Actually, I think that they actually don't. I don't think they're trying to look at that. I was thinking about that when they were outside working. I don't think they could see into her house in that way. If she lets them in and they're looking, I think they do. But I think because they kept showing that the whiteboard was hidden behind It was behind like the notes for the next, the Wakaro 5. It was hidden behind those notes. Every time she opened it, Wakaro 5 was there. I think they were purposely setting up that like they are not looking, like showing us that Carol is still trying to solve them, and also that they are not looking.
All I'm saying is Smash Brothers is my Waikaro, right? Like,
let's talk about it.
If my reactions, right, if everyone's together and the people that enjoy my YouTube reactions to Smash Brothers want more entertainment,
you are
out
on
of my
crack,
live reactions.
Oh
I'm not on crack. Listen,
the last episode of Pluribus is going to be like,
if people want my reactions, I'll be like, look, in order for me to make more reactions for you, I need a new Smash Brothers game. I need you to provide this for me to keep me entertained so I can keep you entertained.
Okay, so here's something I'm wondering. Can they make new things? Because that was an interesting thing when they were talking, when Zosha was talking to her about writing a new Wakaro, the thing Zosha said is it'll be so exciting to read a new book. So I don't even know if they're capable of making new stuff on their own.
I think they can make new stuff, but it's like,
they
why?
can make new stuff, but they
can't. You can make. What I'm saying is, can't you? Essentially, could you not? I'm not saying take advantage of people in the way that Kumbe is saying. I'm saying, can't you act as their ringleader in some way in terms of creation, right? Like you have literally the world at your disposal. You have every person ever at your disposal. And if you are the one person that can make the decisions for them, and you're like, yeah, for this next Smash Brothers game, I want to get like Miyamoto and Kojima and Sakurai and the team of Expedition 3. Right, but they don't care, but they will if you're making something new to provide them entertainment.
But they don't care about entertainment, brother.
Yeah, they don't care about entertainment.
No, but
they would do it. I think they would absolutely 100%
They clearly
do.
They
clearly
do because
I don't know what to care.
The show literally before the show got announced, the show was called Waikaro.
This is the other piece that I wanted to touch on. Isn't that part of the act?
I don't think
like
I don't know if it's an act. I think literally there was the person that wait. I think there's a person.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a person within the other, so within that hive mind that loves Wakaro that much. So because that person feels that emotion towards Wakaro, they all feel it. Everyone. I think that's how it works.
Exactly. Which is my point. Because like Mike, you were saying with that they don't enjoy entertainment. They as a whole, right? The world doesn't enjoy entertainment, but there would be people inside of that hive mind that are like Japan Time listeners that would want it. And thus, even though it's not the goal of them to do it, innately, they would want more Japan Time episodes.
But that's not an act of consciousness. That's just a memory for them. Like I understand the point you're trying to put through, but you would have to have fucking Carol have sex with them for 2 months for them to have a glimpse of them actually care about it.
Then send Amy Adams to my house, man. Send Amy Adams to my house.
What?
Hold on.
And make me Smash Brothers.
We're derailing. I think what Coast is saying is true, and what Roger's saying is true. I think that they do care about entertainment. It's just not a priority to the imperative of completing the joining. Yeah. I definitely think that entertainment is something that they relish in, whatever, right? That is something they care about it a little bit.
Roger, to your point, how you're saying there needs to be a character that needs to go in the inside. That's Carol. Literally,
I know. But my point with that, which again, we were going off tangents. I think I lost the plot a little bit. But what I was essentially getting to, what I was getting to, right, is like the original name for the show was Waikaro. Like when they first greenlit the show, it was called Waikaro, and clearly
Waikaro 339.
Thank you very much. We don't know what 339 is a reference to, but like we're gonna find out, I'm sure, at some point.
I think it's pretty obvious.
But with that being said, right, that Waikaro, the idea of the story and it being new emotions that these people are experiencing, like Mike was bringing up earlier, right? Like it'll be exciting to read something new. I think that is her key. And I think what you're saying is completely true, right? That person, quote unquote, on the inside is her, because through the books, I think she's going to be able to speak to them. And eventually the threat of you will not get anything new from me, and the desire of like humanity as a whole, which has now been Stockholm Syndrome and the liking her shitty romance books, is like going to like the human desire for something new is going to essentially overpower the need to spread of the virus, and that speaks to like the emotional core of like Zosha becoming like, I like mango ice cream versus like the people of the world like mango. You know what I mean? It's like it's conditioning the world essentially
you know what?
into
This
desiring
reminded
something
me of
more.
something, because then I think this was pretty important, because like when Helen was talking about her publishing her unpublished book, what Helen told her is, if you can make one person happy, then that's enough. And I think that's going to be a very pivotal thing with how this goes. Yeah.
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's romantic.
Yes,
I like
totally agree. Yes. You're cooking.
I like that idea,
brought up
McDer.
339.
That was a good one.
The reason I brought up 339 is because I think there is something particular about Waikaro, and like there's going to be something about page 339 that's going to be like light bulb goes off. They figured it out.
Wait, what was the station? What was that station? That station
The
had 3.
frequency?
Yeah, it was 86 point. I thought it was 3 something. Or am I wrong?
Was it 8 or was it 1-6 or something? I don't remember. We can look it up.
The
but
state.
like,
that the Manusos.
Yeah, the
got
one that
from-
had
Yeah.
the funny, because when you said
6.20.
not 20,
Was it
okay.
6-7?
No.
stop it. Oh shit. Oh my god.
Would it be all right, real quick, if I just like gush? Because I feel like I've mostly
Yes.
talked about like logistics and stuff.
Please,
I haven't really
by all
given like
means.
general thoughts on the show.
Please gush away.
I freaking love this show. I'm a big fan of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul is like one of my favorite shows ever. And so I was so excited to like finally get like some new Vince Gilligan stuff. And what I love about this show is it feels like, even though it's like a very like new thing. Hello?
Yeah,
What the heck was that?
Shofu, you watch Pluribus, bro?
Did I watch what?
What
Pluribus?
the
hell?
I didn't even hear
Easy. My B. My
it was
boy.
good. Read that. Did I watch what?
Pluribus.
We're
We're doing our
talking
Pluribus
about
spoiler cast right now, man.
Oh shit. Now, I don't know what the fuck that even is. I'm out of here.
All right, Mike, go back.
That's the boy. That's the man.
Yeah, sorry, Mike. Go ahead. Continue.
Huh?
Just you were gushing about the show.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm in the middle of a rivals match as well.
See, you can get them to make you a new rivals with whatever characters
Brother,
you.
that's
You can
not-
put your
oh
bunny.
my
You can
lord.
put your bunny in the game.
Mike,
as a
talk about the show,
playable
please.
rival.
Mike, talk about the show.
I mean, I'm just happy we got more of Vince Gilligan because it feels like a stylistic sequel to Better Call Saul. And like specifically like the aspects of Better Call Saul that I really loved, which was like the emotional cinematography of it and just like all the musical montages. Better Call Saul had so many like fun musical montages, and like it feels like this whole show is just that, and I love that. Like this whole series, have you ever watched who here has watched Breaking Bad?
Me.
I think
Yeah,
all
I
of
watched
us,
Breaking
yeah.
Bad.
Okay. When I was first watching Breaking Bad, literally everyone was telling me, yeah, you could skip The Fly. Yeah, you could skip The Fly. You don't really need to watch it. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna skip an episode. So I watched The Fly, and it's like literally one of my favorite episodes of the show. And
I
like
forget who directed that
Pluribus to me just feels like an entire show like made similar to like how The Fly was. Like it's just a whole episode, like a whole show of that.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about Pluribus is something that people like to complain about a lot, but it's done excellent in the show, and that's letting the show just sit in silence.
Yes.
And just let yourself experience what the characters are experiencing, really understand the world, and the silence, like, not only does it help with the visualization and place the setting of the show where Carol's all on her own in a world where she doesn't have anyone else. Like it adds to that, but it also adds so much more to the value of each episode. And yeah, people complain about shows that do that where it's like, oh, just move on. Like there's that need for the rapidness of going from point A to point B because they need to have their brain pleased by constant things showing up on the screen or whatever. But I think that's the one thing that I love the most about the show, and the colors, the way the cinematography is done, specifically with the colors of the show. Oh my goodness!
Except
in
for
the hospital.
Except for that very last, well, not the very last scene, but one of the scenes in the latest episode that was clearly on green screen in the neighborhood. Did you guys see this clip?
Oh yeah, dude! I literally mentioned
fighting over the phone.
Yeah,
you remember when I brought it up too?
I was like, "What is going on here?"
Like there's some pretty cool stuff that they do in the show, like the fireworks scene. Like
Love
that
Yes,
was a really
just
good
the
scene.
silence of she's just gonna let it happen, and then
Yes.
it misses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even thought
So
like the decision for her until she actually went and got like something to play CDs where all the music is just her singing the songs to herself because it's just silent.
That's something I wish people would appreciate it more, because that does a lot for a show, especially for one like this too. So
yeah, it makes the show very confident. It's confident in what it's doing.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the other thing about. Oh, go ahead.
No, when Ricky and Coast and I were watching Charm Offensive, like the penultimate episode, I was just like so enamored by it, and I was like, I could watch this episode for like 4 hours. Like just let it keep going.
is that the one where he's walking?
No, that's the episode with Carol and Zosha. Like it's the penultimate episode.
Yeah, when they go to the diner.
The mango ice cream. Yeah, exactly. The diner, bro. That scene was so good. Where she's like, "You actually found the person who was working at the diner
and dragged her back here," and it's like that part like started pulling her out of it because they did all that.
Hello?
We're all here.
No, we were all we're talking about the diner thing. Sorry, we were all caught up in the hive mind for a second there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, someone's coming.
That's right.
You can have a visitor.
That's right. Who's our? Oh, it's Sakurai. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, you're making Smash Sticks. Oh, I appreciate it. I told you this is a good idea. Thank you. Quick request though. Could let's put Shofu in as a playable character. Yeah, I don't want him as a clone of Ganondorf or of Captain Falcon. Like, I want him as an original character. I want his taunt. Can you make his taunt Verlicify? Like, could you make that his up B? Where he like throws a flash? That's what I'm saying, bro. This would be peak. They're not taking advantage of this situation. That'd be fire, actually. He'd be a good skin for the Pokemon trainer. But he'd be an original character. He could have Honchkrow. Bro, we're cooking. Pokemon. He could have Jump Bluff Magic. Oh, bro, I'm telling you.
There's so many routes. So I feel like it would be awesome just for a day to have command over the entire world.
Oh, it'd be fire. Yeah.
Yeah, just realize all the dreams. And then go back, I guess, to save everybody or whatever.
Of course.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like when does it run out though? That's why I think it's gonna happen with I'm never gonna remember his name. But I feel like what's gonna happen with him is eventually he's gonna get like, I have everything I ever wanted. Okay, well, what now? Because that is, and also I love that after his scenes and after the girl in Peru joins them, they just in silence just show you like, okay, they left, instantly switch back, and now we're just cleaning up all the stuff, or we're abandoning this village, it doesn't matter anymore, or Carol's coming and he's like, oh, well, we're about to have all this fun time, and they're like, nope, we have to leave, and they just leave. I feel like that's gonna trigger something eventually.
Because I also wonder, like, the preservation of culture, right? You could make the argument that like they're not killing physical things, but that they are actually actively harming and killing like the history of the world, essentially. And if you could convince them that that is something that they are killing,
they would argue that so hard though.
Yeah.
Well,
probably.
you have all the time in the world. There's no one else. You're
Well, yeah, like here's the thing. Like,
I got time.
I don't think they would care about that because, like, while they can't cause like physical harm, they definitely do not care about causing psychological harm.
They would also just argue. I know their immediate rebuttal to that would be, you would say you're killing culture, blah blah blah, and they'll be like, "What do you mean? We have every brain ever. Like we've studied everything,
perfectly
like,
preserved."
Yeah, exactly.
So
something I thought was interesting, right? When the massage thing, because it was crossing my mind. It's like, can they not reproduce? I mean, they're still humans, but like, would they not? But then she said, "Oh, like 27 babies were born." It's crossing my mind, like, were they already pregnant, or
they were? Yeah, they were pregnant. They were pregnant before the
McDer, no one can give birth in 60 days.
I literally said that, and then post-corrected me and reminded me of biology.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it hasn't been that long. That's true.
Okay, here's my question. This is the most important question, I think. This show is written so excellently because Gilligan can get anyone to appear in a show for a cameo. So, who should be a cameo in this show for season 2?
Would freaking Bryan Cranston just mess it all up? Would it be too much if Bryan Cranston just walked past?
No,
I think so.
I think it'd be funny. I think it'd be funny if at some point, what's his name? Kumbe? Is that his name?
Diabate.
Diabate. It'd be funny if at some point he requests for them to make a season of Breaking Bad for him to watch, and that's just how they get them in here. Is they just have like an episode of Breaking Bad.
He freaking had the actual mayor of Arizona, wasn't it, Mike? Or
yeah, right. They had the actual mayor of Albuquerque. Yeah.
Okay, New Mexico. Yeah.
That was so funny. I was like, wait, you're the fucking mayor. Thank you for your vote.
Yeah, right. It's a good show, man. It's a really good show. Well, any last minute thoughts?
I mean, we didn't actually discuss if you would join or not. We like talked around it. We didn't actually start talking about that.
That's a good discussion topic. We do have to do that. I mean, I think I would with stipulations. If I could control my individuality and have access to it. Well, I got all the time in the world. If I started in Carol's situation and I figure out a way to do it, then I would. Otherwise, I wouldn't.
Yeah, because I definitely would not.
I would join just because I feel as though my will surpasses all others.
It won't.
Test it out.
It won't.
No.
Bro thinks he's a fucking anime character.
I feel like my individuality would end up conquering everybody else's, and I would just,
brother.
Anyways,
I see the vision. I see Whitebeard talking to Ricky, and he goes, "The man Roger was waiting for. It's not you, Ricky Cocaine." That's like at the top of Marine Corps. That's crazy. Your will isn't strong enough.
Even so, even if that wasn't the case, yeah. I think I would want to see what's on the other side because they painted it as like absolute nirvana. Like, what's wrong with swimming in a maelstrom of like, a bunch of souls that like seem to be contended? That's cool. I'm down with it. I'm down with joining.
You would also, but see, in that situation, Ricky, you would also be joining with every person you've ever catfished, every person you've ever wronged, every person you've ever tried to escape from. Like you literally ran away to Nigeria
and then they
to
would
avoid
understand.
somebody.
They would understand
and now
why
you're
they put me in that position in the first place.
But then you would be immediately
because they would understand my feelings. It goes both ways, Raj. It goes both ways. They would understand the situations, the circumstances that forced my hand.
I didn't even think about that.
It's absolute understanding. It's like
it's all of their minds have melded, right?
Yes.
Right. If they do revert everyone, that's fucked. Because then
it's gonna be like the most insane loneliness anyone has ever felt in their life.
Exactly.
Right.
Like they'll know,
and everyone will know.
There's so many. Right. Well, I don't know how much they'll retain.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much of that knowledge is actually in their individual head, or they can just tap in.
It has to be amnesia. It has to be amnesia. Otherwise, everybody's mind will break.
Because the last shot of the show is everyone's just gonna be screaming.
like you would have reverted them into a hellscape.
I didn't even think about that because like if they all revert back, like there's so many. Not even just the point of retaining all information, but if they retain some things that are particular to relationships they've had in their life or whatnot, like they come back and they're conscious and they have that. Like there's a lot of repercussions of
or even
solving this too.
Actually,
even like if you're tapped in with everybody's mind ever, right? You then have access to every most traumatic experience for every person on the planet. And like, imagine if, because obviously, like you said, you maybe wouldn't retain everything, but you know how sometimes you
breaking news,
you see an image. What's on NSO Music? What is it?
No, Rhea Seehorn has won Best Actress in a Drama Series at the Critic Choice Awards.
Oh, let's go. Okay,
that's beautiful.
That's perfect timing. That's good.
Yes.
No, but like
did the white people smile a bunch. That's how you get that award.
You know how like you sometimes see an image, you'll come across an image and you're like, oh my God, I can't get that image out of my head now. Like I wish I hadn't seen that. Imagine that on like literally a global scale where everybody's image that you wish you couldn't get out of your head is now there, where I wonder like how much of that would permanently scar you. And that like maybe the only thing you do retain upon unjoining is all the worst moments of everybody's lives and your own is gone.
See, but that's that's the thing, right? It's like, how does the hive mind work with that? Are they actively like tapping into that? Like, because the information that they get, right? Like, if like let's say, oh, we need to build a bridge. Let's tap into every facet of knowledge for building a bridge, right? Maybe that's how they access. No, I haven't.
Anyone watch Pacific Rim?
I have not.
I have seen Pacific Rim. Yeah.
I imagine it would be like if you just like drifted with the entire world.
I don't know what that means.
Because the thing I would like when I was thinking about this, I remembered because they have all Helen's memories. Because Helen connected, but she's dead. So it's like that to me means like either there's a central thing somewhere, or it is actually just put in everyone's head because like they can't tap back into Helen. She died.
And they,
but they have all
but
her
they
memories.
also clearly didn't forget her, right?
Yeah.
Like she said, forget her, and they clearly still have it.
Yeah,
so
they like refuse
force
to
yourself to forget something. Yeah, right.
Not
Because again,
refuse,
that's damaging thing. No, but it's again, it's the idea of like you can't cause harm, right? And even if there is harm done through the actions of like them upsetting Carol causes her to then send them all into seizures that kill 1 million people. Like you said, what aspect of that can they and can't they control? And do they even know they're aware of being able to control that? Like, there's just a lot of questions I think the show is going to bring up. I think the nice thing about this is the fact that like we're all talking about this just in season 1 with as little information as we have now means this could go on for a long time. And with all the other people, I say all the other people that are still left, like you said, it's 13, but like of those people, 12 now, right? 12 now, right? So that's a lot of content that you can break down over the course of seasons.
So I was wondering with her, because they changed her, if they were going to like have her appear to the other group of survivors to hear what the survivors are saying and just not let them know that she's one of them. But but Zosha told Carol specifically, oh, she came over, but she only told, so we know Zosha or Carol knows. We don't know if all the others know.
I don't see any reason to withhold that information from the other people who are already.
Well, it's not even withholding. It's like, what if they don't ask?
I guess, but okay.
I would almost wonder if they would choose to do that, though, to be like, oh, yeah, that girl in Peru who was thinking about joining us did it, and she loves it now. And this is me speaking to you. And they actually send her over. Like, that would be interesting.
That would be a good marketing campaign for them to start joining up, too.
She's like, look, I'm here and I'm happy. This is great. It's exactly as I told you. And I still like my mango ice cream.
You also don't exist.
Carol is experienced enough for her to know that's a ruse, obviously.
Yeah.
But the other people, we don't know what the other people are doing yet. I think like their story, I almost feel like we need a bottle episode with like the Asian guy that was on the plane. Yeah. We need like a bottle episode with the mom and her kid and like coming to the understanding that I don't know.
I think it'd be interesting to see. Oh wait, okay, you continue.
I want a whole episode just to see what like the hive does by themselves.
Yeah, that's what
I would love that. Yeah.
They just walking around building that antenna. That's what we're gonna see if we do get a glimpse at their every day. Just them constructing that antenna and
Like, what are they doing in Albuquerque? Like, are they making the antenna in Albuquerque?
I think they're only there because Carol's there. That's what my thought is. Like, they're only in this spot because she's there. Yeah, they had a facility and everything. Yeah, but they have a facility because Carol's there. But like the second that girl in Peru changed, they all left. They had no reason to stay there anymore. They left. I think the city of Albuquerque is running because Carol is in Albuquerque. Like, they turned off the lights because, like, oh, we don't need them, so we just turn them all off. I think, and then when they all left, it's not like we have to come back for something. No, they all just left because Carol did something.
I don't forget. Did they say where they went for the 2 months when they left?
I don't believe so. They just left.
It's funny turning off the lights for an entire city, like turning off the living room lights or something, like just in your house. That's so crazy to me. But yeah.
And same thing in Las Vegas. Like, when she showed them Las Vegas, they still don't want to be around here, so they all cleared out of Las Vegas. So I really think like they're more centralized than we think. We just don't see that. We just see it from the perspective of Carol.
You know what? Zosia's the hive mind.
You want her to be special so bad.
Carol's gonna fuck the hive mind multiple times.
You kind of saw that coming though, like.
Oh yeah,
she got lost in the sauce, man. God
damn. 40 days of isolation, definitely.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, I don't know if I could survive that.
You don't know if you could survive rolling around in a Rolls Royce every day?
Literally,
I for sure 100% could. I have no doubt in my mind.
So easy.
The reason I could survive that, I literally would, because I wouldn't have made the dumb decision to make them leave and leave the voicemail.
You say this with full confidence, but that is absolutely not how it would work.
I think the situation, Roger. I think the situation specifically is if they all abandoned you and did not come back. It's not saying like would you or would you not have done this. It's like, if you're in the position, could you handle that?
Right. And you can lie to yourself and say it, or you can just ignore that these people are not who they actually are. But at the end of the day, like that's what Carol did. She lied to herself, and she fucked Zosha, bro.
And she started to see Zosha as like herself. Like, she got upset when Manny showed up, and Zosha's like, "Oh, but I love him." And it's like, "What do you mean you love him?" And she said, "You're my," and then she like to stop herself. It's like a chaperone,
right?
Yeah.
She got so entangled. I wish she had at least lasted like the full 2 months, like at least throwing in a dog in there so she would have some companionship.
Oh, she had dogs, all right.
Oh, yeah, not
just wolves.
She had dogs.
But like, golly, bro, it was somewhat disappointing that she couldn't.
I just think
go the distance.
Like, it wasn't even full 2 months, but like 40 days of absolute, like, sure, I know me as a person, I can be on my own for a while. 40 days with no human interaction at all, like, that's rough.
Well, that's why they put like the worst of the worst in confinement. You know, like when you're in prison, to make you just go nuts, where you need some type of interaction, even if it's the people threatening to shank you and, you know, do all these crazy things to you in prison. It's like, you're like, give me that instead of leave me alone.
But even that, I feel like that the reason that's intolerable is because like there's just nothing to do in the hole. She had like the world, the entire world to explore.
Bro, she would have lasted 40 days.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, she didn't even attempt to play
Hold up.
Yeah, give me attempt to make a new Smash
the entire Switch 2 library or Switch 1 library.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Give me like a bunch of fucking. Give me a friend's.
Well, the other thing is like they're not even making shows anymore. She's like watching Golden Girls because there's nothing on TV. So it's like,
to be fair, that's what I would do too. Do you watch TV now other than Pluribus and Severance? I'm like,
but
90%
but you do watch something. You watch creators, you watch streamers, you watch something.
Bro, I've watched West Wing 3 times already.
Hold up. Click comms. There's no need for them at all to make new shit. You know how many fucking shows exist
already?
How many movies still exist and all that shit?
I can have them live translate.
She literally could have just said, "Hey, mail me literally 200 days worth of TV shows."
It'd be fire.
A fucking box as big as the atom bomb would have showed up to her house.
I could have them live translate J dramas that never got translated. That
exactly.
I have hundreds of years of Japanese television now. That
translate Mother 3 for me and
bro, fire. And then have Toy make me Mother 4.
Also, another thing, speaking of translating, this made me think about this, right? We're talking about them not doing stuff against their interest. The fact they actually translated and sent her videos out. Like, I was part of me thinking they wouldn't do it.
Please her. They want to please her.
He said, yeah, it would please me if you did this. But like, at the same time, she would like never know. So I was always questioning, like, did they actually? And then eventually they show you, like, no, they actually did and sent it out.
Oh, yeah. That was a great scene, too.
They haven't done anything against her wishes yet, have they? I don't even know.
The only thing is they're still trying to change her. That's like basically it.
Yeah, but they've said that from the beginning. That's like nothing's changed.
They're pretty consistent.
So I want to ask this, right? So for the first episode, it was counting down, right? At the very start, the number counts down. Then, like, at the end of that episode, it starts counting up. When they went to the ice thing and it was like 4,000, did you like do a double take and have to double check if it was counting down or up? Because I saw that and I was like, well, did they jump forward? And like, wait a minute, I had to go back and look at it again.
Yeah, I mean, but it was quick. You could understand that it was like
once you see Helen is alive, you're like, oh, this is
No, but it was before that because I like saw it and like one in my head is like it was 4,000 and then it's like I was like thinking about it, I was like, wait a minute. So I had to go back and look at the number again and saw it was counting down.
Could you imagine if like season 2 of Pluribus just opens up like 10,000 days later? And it's like, crazy.
Dude, Vince loves his crazy time skip cold opens.
I'd be cool with that. I'm an anime fan.
There's literally like an episode of Better Call Saul that opens at the end of Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah.
Right. Well,
and then it
like
has nothing to do with the rest of the episode. It's crazy.
I was gonna say, for like a whole season, wasn't that a thing though, where they had like the flash forwards with what happened afterwards?
In Better Call Saul, pretty much every cold open is like a jump in time.
Right.
For me, with the episode with the girl from Peru, when they were like, it jumped forward in time and it was counting up. I was like, oh shit, we're getting a flash forward, and then it like went back and then like played the events in real time to get back to the point in time. That's where I was like, oh shit, that's cool storytelling. I like that.
Even with Manny, with like we see her on the plane call him, and then the point where we actually get to him is behind that because eventually that call happens and we see it like what he actually did in real time for that call compared to when she did it.
Carol Esturca. Dude, I forget what there was something I googled for Pluribus the other day, and Google shitty AI overview wrote her name as Carol Sturker.
Oh man.
Good show. The only thing I'm worried about for season 2 is what they're gonna do with that fucking atom bomb. Because
I mean, I think
a crazy point to end it on, but like,
earlier.
where is that going?
I'm not really sure of that play, because isn't Manus's and Carol's objectives kind of different? Where like, I thought Manus says he wants to like destroy the world.
He came around to it by the end.
Yeah, like when he was trying to save that one guy, he was like, he actually talked to Zosha and now understands everything, and then he was trying to save, like, break that one guy out.
Okay, so then they are on the same page that
they are on the same page.
Possible. So then the atom bomb seems like a deviation from trying to save everybody, though. Maybe it's just
again, I think
bargaining chip.
That's what I think it is. I think it's the threat of harm, because they don't want to cause harm, and they straight up said the first time that they brought that up, like in the hospital episode, that like the delivery man says, we would have to weigh the pros and the cons. Yeah. And I feel like that's ultimately what it's going to come down to. I think the core of the next season is probably the pros and the cons of letting her.
I'm making a big ass prediction right now.
Let's hear it.
They are going to, so that the last like 30 minutes of that final episode brought a big theme about electromagnetic fields and radio signals and all that, and it kind of goes back to the first season or the first episode where like everyone with cell phones basically got fucked over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think what's going to happen is throughout the course of season 2, they're going to tap into that information and discover things throughout the course of it, and they're going to find a like giant radio tower or something involving electromagnetic fields where they're
disrupt.
Yeah, they're still playing signals to maintain the connection to the others, but that atom bomb can be used to, cut that connection. And so they're either going to use that as some sort of bargaining chip or just use it to straight up blow up the fucking thing. Who knows? I think that atom bomb is going to be the big piece for season 2.
I agree.
Atom bomb destroyed the antenna. That's also cool. I like that. Okay. Does anybody think Zosha is pregnant with Carol's baby?
I hate to tell you that's not how biology works, man. I hate to tell you, man.
Are you sure? She was having a lot of sex with her.
All right, with that, we are wrapping up this Pluribus spoiler cast. Thank you once again for all of you listening. We will be back when season 2 drops. All of us obviously are very much into it. Again, if you want to listen to the
Vince needs to hurry up with that.
Yeah, hopefully it's not that long of a wait. Hopefully it's like early 2027. But either way, thank you for joining us, and we'll be back with another episode of Japan Time next week. Well, actually, when is this going up?
To Venezuela.
Probably like Friday.
When is it? Oh, perfect. All right. Well, then we'll see you in a couple days. All right. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Bye-bye.
And any final words, Ricky?
I am Ricky Cocaine, and I am here to save the world. Save the world.
Good night, everybody.